company called Miller Marine. They're based in Staten Island. They're the provider for barging for all of the different sites on the campus. They have successfully worked at Governor's Island, which is one of the reasons we were interested in working with them. They're creating what's called a roll-on, roll-off system, and John explained it a little bit before. So we're going to have a landing barge, and we're constructing a bridge that's going to be installed just east of the Cornell Tech site, where John showed you before. The landing barge is a very large barge that gets spudded in on a temporary basis. It'll be there for more than a year. There's a ramp that goes, a very wide bridge ramp. It's about 60 feet wide that goes from that barge up to and beyond the seawall. There's a landing barge on the other side at the Brooklyn Navy Yard. We're not 100% sure, we're about 95% sure it's going to be the Brooklyn Navy Yard at this point. So the trucks would drive onto the barge at the Brooklyn Navy Yard, and then from that barge onto a traveling barge. The traveling barge would be taken by a tugboat from Brooklyn Navy Yard up to the site. Trucks would drive onto the site. When it's there, other trucks that are empty would drive back onto that traveling barge. It would go back to Brooklyn Navy Yard, ready to come back again. For us, the key was to have the landing site as close as possible to Roosevelt Island. Miller is located in Staten Island. It's about 2 to 3 hours away by barge. So that wouldn't have been a good solution for us. We're looking at, so Brooklyn Navy Yard, for those of you who know, is down here. It's about 2/3 closer to Staten Island. So we think it's about 30 to 40 minutes. A lot of it depends on the currents. You know very well about the currents. If you're going with the current, it's very quick, and you're not fighting anything. If you're going against the current, and you've got a lot of weight, you've got these flat front barges, it can take quite a long time to get there. But from our perspective, it has easy access to the regional highway network. It is an industrial site to begin with. And there's industrial properties there that can have, we can park trucks there and stage them. We can't be in a situation where a truck needs to get onto the barge and there's no parking for it. It needs to be able to wait for several hours before it gets onto the barge. And so that's the system that we're looking at right now. We're fabricating it at the moment. We're fabricating the bridge. We're out there purchasing leases on these barges. We do expect that the installation is going to happen between the middle and the end of August, and that the system will start operating in September. So we'll probably do something like we did when we started the crane barging. When the barging starts, we'll bring people out there and have a look and make sure it works. It's a very similar system to what they're doing in Governor's Island, but it's a little bit more of a challenging site because it's not as deep. Sorry, any questions?
And the barging will be for what sort of material?
Barging is primarily for oversized and bulky and heavy materials, so steel, which comes on very large trucks from far away. The steel for the first 2 projects is coming from Canada. It's for facades, where all of the facades on all 3 of the buildings are panelized facades, which means that they put the insulation and the structural piece and the facade and the glass together at a factory, and then they put it all in a big truck and send it. Some of it's coming from New York, upstate, and some of it is coming from Long Island. So those kinds of large trucks. HVAC equipment, things that are too big to move over the roads. We've already delivered several hundred trucks worth of large heavy equipment. All the heavy equipment you see on the site was delivered by barge. And then the last piece is a lot of the landscaping materials. A lot of the bulk materials are going to be brought probably by hopper barge. And they'll be sort of scooped out into trucks and brought onto the site.
There was a certain percentage of barging that you had agreed to do.
Yes.
Is this an increase of that percentage?
No, this is fulfilling the percentage. This is fulfilling the percentage. Yeah.
Has any work been done on the ramp down from the bridge, and is it adequate to your needs?
The bridge.
The helix.
The helix. So the answer is yes, it's adequate to our needs. I mean, it is what it is, right? Our understanding is that the bridge, limitation on the bridge is 36 tons. That's a DOT limitation. That's about 10% lower than what you'd find on a typical bridge or typical roadway throughout the city. So what we understand from REAC is that if we meet that specification for materials coming over the bridge, we will, that the helix is equal to or greater in terms of its carrying capacity than the bridge. Would we like it if it was all a lot beefier? Yes, we would, but that's just not the case. In fact, even with a concrete truck, so fully loaded concrete truck, can't go across the bridge.
Right, that was
They have
why
to
we
be.
had more concrete.
That's why you have more trucks coming down,
Because
because
they're
on a typical
empty.
city street, it would be a full concrete truck, which would be too heavy to go across the bridge, so you end up with more trucks that are lighter. Our understanding is that REAC has a project to reconstruct pieces of the helix. I don't believe it's a structural issue. I think it's a lot of finishes. Not finishes in the sense of what it looks like, but it's wearing and some exposed rebar. I don't believe that it's degraded in terms of its carrying capacity. I think it just needs to be protected, but you'd have to ask REAC about that. I think they were supposed to be starting sometime in the fall, but again, you'd have to ask them about that.
Did your guys, you have trucks coming over already, or, I mean, have you tested that yet?
Which?
Just your heaviest trucks to the helix and the bridge?
Yeah, I mean,
And no problems?
our truckers know, and all the contractors and suppliers know that 36 tons is the limit.
Yeah.
I don't believe, we brought in some large trucks, I don't believe we've had any problems with the helix.
Okay.
Are the bright yellow trucks yours?
Yes, they are.
Yes, they're very pretty.
They're very clean, and it's hard to miss them. Those are is that Nikon?
There's the Portuguese flag on it.
Yes. Yes.
It's their marketing, they keep their trucks extremely clean.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They
They're like the
are.
gas gas
Yeah.
station of trucks.
All right, let me jump on to a few other things. So, trees at the southwest corner of the site.